welcome to News Tonight. My name is Kimini Amano.
And I am Patrick Stevenson. Coming up in the headlines for the evening. Now 400 people lose their homes in Kaiser Flats and Tema Community 4. We will get answers from the Tema Development Corporation on why the building has been left to deteriorate in such a manner. You want to stay with us for this one.
Also to come, former Deputy Attorney General Dominic Ayene on collision cause with committee tasked to investigate cash for seat allegation, as he insists he would write a minority report to counter the committees. But why exactly? Stay on for details.
Again in the bulletin for the evening, the Municipal Chief Executive Officer in Don Kwabinyak constituency suspects foul play in Wednesday's inferno that gutted the community's market. She'll join us with an explanation on why she alleges this.
And still on security, IDP sends out a strong warning against criminals who hide behind the mask of social media to commit heinous crimes as he launches new police website. Our first stop will be at the presidency, where a news release has informed us that the president has suspended the Minister for the Upper West Region, Alhaji Suleimana Al-Hassan. Now, in this release, it reads, the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has suspended with immediate effect from office the Minister for the Upper West Region, Alhaji Suleiman Al-Hassan, pending the outcome of the investigation into the unfortunate incidents that occurred at the premises of the Upper West NADMO office in Wa on Wednesday, 31st January 2018. President Akufo-Addo reiterates his commitment to the application of the laws of the land, which must occur without fear or favor, affection or ill will, and without recourse to the political, religious or ethnic affiliations of any citizen of the land. We'll get you some reactions on the story later on in the bulletin.
Now we continue with other stories we have for the evening. Now the fight between the Police Motor Traffic and Transport Department and motorists against the use of tinted glasses continues. Now fortunately, the law allows for a partial tint. But impatient of the Road Traffic Regulation 2012 LI 2180 Section 67, the MTTD has warned that any driver who violates the law and opts for a complete tint will be dealt with in accordance with the law. Now Joshua Nana Kwame has more in the following report.
Available reports suggest that the number of vehicles plying the country's road have exponentially increased to about 1 million. There is a common fashion amongst the private and commercial car users: tinted glasses. Drivers preferably tint their glasses from the front, back and side of their windscreens. Their cars are either covered by opaque or partially translucent coats of black. But this somewhat fashionable trend has experienced a lot of opposition by the police, describing it as an obstruction to security. Sergeant Al-Hassan Dramani, investigator at the Accra Central MTTD, has warned against the use of tinted glasses by car users. He added that the police will not relent in the quest to arrest defaulters in pursuant of the Legislative Instrument 2180, Section 67.
It is an offense for you to tint your glasses. The offense is captured under Regulation 67 of the LI, 67.3 and 67.4 of the law is saying that any vehicle that drives on our roads in Ghana should not have the front windscreen and the front glasses tinted. However, the law makes an exception under Regulation 67.4 by saying that you can tint the front glasses with light transmittance, which should not exceed 70%.
An amount ranging between 50 Ghana cedis to 300 Ghana cedis is enough to have a vehicle's glass tinted, depending on the type of car and the size. Tint is made in 3 main ways, either by spray, rubber coat, or a film. But the common one is the rubber application. A glass-tinted fitter speaking to GHOne News shared with us some reasons some persons prefer to tint their glasses.
For security reasons, they say the sun is Ghana's sun is too much, so they came here and do the tinted. And some people also came here for tinted because they say some people maybe come into their cars stealing things, and some people said, oh, maybe when they are in the car, some people watch them too, so they don't want people to watch them. That's why they do the tinted.
But there has been a periodic exercise across the country by the police to stop the practice. The regular routine appears to have done little or nothing at all to change the situation. The reason? Still unclear. Either for security purposes or just to share privacy, to whatever reason vehicle owners opt to tint their glasses is best known to them only. However, vehicle owners have been cautioned strongly on several accounts by the Police High Command that vehicles with tinted glasses will not be allowed to ply the roads. Therefore, owners of such cars are advised to remove them. Now, the reason assigned to their removal, according to the authority, is that some criminals use tinted glasses to commit crimes. But the assertion and the premise to this order, according to the public, is unjustifiable. While a section of the public is objecting to the order, there are some car users who are willing to comply with the police to eschew the luxury of driving in tinted glasses.
I am actually say yes, I didn't, because Titruyan taxi driver for any day. I say a boy because in the baby or what to care no more unim say or your cron for the way I no more dressing or more dressing or mutin wire basano in case a car ain't tinted. Na emuye prince ana police ni hu se what chira otimi born a suspect
no mo e adwin because omo na boy ho ban isan se tinted no se nipa boni ni bi etima ye hu se o tinu me no mo ya adwin.
According to the police, they believe it is imperative to carry out the exercise because its investigation reveals that the use of tinted glasses was one of the major causes of fatal road traffic accidents in Ghana. It is believed that tinted glasses impaired visibility whenever it rains, resulting in fatal road crashes. No category of persons is exempt, and Sergeant Al-Hassan Dramani appeals to the public to be compliant to ensure safety and promote sanity on our roads.
According to this law, LI 2180, there is no exceptions. It is talking about all vehicles. So whether commercial vehicle, private vehicle, state vehicle, there's no exception here. So it is presumed that every vehicle should comply with this LI when it comes to tinted glasses. Let's all try to obey this particular regulation in terms of tinted glasses in order to ensure safety on the roads.
Now let's stay with some traffic stories. The MTTD has declared its intention to clamp down on unauthorized motorists who abuse horns and sirens in the capital. The MTTD is therefore cautioning those who have installed sirens in their vehicles unlawfully to remove same forthwith or face prosecution. As it stands, the department has apprehended over 40 culprits who have flouted this law. There's more in the following report by Samuel Lancelot Wate.
According to the Traffic Regulations Act 2012, Section 74, Subsection 2, a person shall not fit on a motor vehicle a warning appliance other than a type approved by the licensing authority. But this portion of the legislative instrument of the traffic regulations have been breached by a section of motorists. Just last year, the MTTD, in an unannounced operation on December 8 and 12, 2017, apprehended some offenders on the Amasama-Pokuase Road and at the airport bypass, respectively. The offending motorists were driving on the shoulders of the road while abusing sirens. The offenders who were caught on camera by the police are facing the strength. Sergeant Dramani Al-Hassan is an investigator with the MTTD and sheds more light on the law.
Regulation 74 of the LI, that's the Road Traffic Regulations 2012, LI 2180. It has listed the category of people that are permitted or mandated by this law to use siren. And so if you look at it, you have police vehicles, vehicles used by the Ghana Fire Service, vehicles used by hospitals as ambulances. You have bullion vans and other recognized security services.
This is not the first time the MTTD has embarked on such action. Unfortunately, they are never able to maintain it. This time around, Chief Inspector Opon Treme says they have the men to sustain the initiative.
As a matter of fact, our commander, DCOP Eduamankwa, has given us the support, and then that we are sustaining this exercise until we see these offenders as refrain from doing that. The
Greater Accra Regional Commander, DCOP Eduamankwa, has been engaging all MTTD heads in the Greater Accra metropolis in crunch meeting to devise strategies to sustain this operation. Samuel Lancelot Boateng, GHOne News.
Now, you recall our stories on 6 communities up north with acute water problems in the portrait of the countryside. Now, the Ghana Water Company Limited only last week also came out with a circular on water rationing across the country, with emphasis that the Nawuni and Yendi rivers up north were drying up. Now, the Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources, Dr. Joseph Kofiada, has been speaking on the water situation in the northern region and the ministry's plans to address it. Let's take a listen.
The northern region has a peculiar problem with water table. Indeed, as we speak, we had the privilege of drilling some boreholes for some of the districts in the region. Just yesterday evening, I was called by my water engineer and told that out of 4 boreholes that were drilled, they were all dry. And this was up around, I think, the Savulugu and the Nantong areas. And this is not the first time that's happened. So it's been a real big problem for us to get groundwater coming up for the towns. Nonetheless, government has plans for us to develop some big water projects. As we speak, there's a draft cabinet memo on funding around the neighborhood of $30 million or so for the ND water system, and I think close to $40 million for the Damango water system. These are 2 major water projects in the northern region.
We'll take you to Tema now, because some evacuated residents of Kaiser Flats in Community 4 are accusing the Tema Development Corporation of selling the lands to some Chinese investors. Now, it follows a mass evacuation of about 400 persons from 4 old dilapidated blocks. The structures have developed dangerous deep cracks that could bring them down any minute. Alice Aite visited the community and has more in the following report.
People don't have nowhere to sleep. So if government, you are listening to me, try and help the people. Imagine you are part of them and they will move you out without no compensation, nothing. How will you people feel?
This is the frustration of some of the evicted residents of the Kaiser Flats in the Tema Community 4. Occupants of some 4 blocks of the flat Thursday morning had their properties thrown out following an eviction exercise by the Tema Development Corporation, TDC. The occupants, numbering about 400, were living in the very old blocks, which officials say have failed structural integrity tests. At the time of our visits, some of the ejected occupants were still packing their belongings into trucks, while others, who claimed they have nowhere to go, were also gathering their properties at safer places in anticipation of a better place for relocation. Most of them are frustrated since, according to them, the buildings were either acquired or bought by their grandparents, most of whom have died long ago. Hence, they do not know what arrangements were made between the TDC and the original occupants in terms of compensation.
You look at my age now. Look at my age now. Maybe I don't know what my father or my grandpapa do when all this thing happen. But people come to us, we just link them with some things that we don't know what happened. So we beg you people, look at the way my grandma, my granddad, look the way they are just going bathing then, you understand?
They give some people a land and then they went, but some sold the land and then they leave. They came back and live here. We didn't get it. My father was doing this thing. He was fighting for his, and he couldn't get his before he died. He passed away.
Other residents, however, accused the Tema Development Corporation of selling the property out to some Chinese investors, hinting the other occupants in the other 26 blocks will also be ejected in due course.
TDC people have sold the whole apartment, the whole place to Chinese people. As I'm talking to you, there are investors who have come inside the country. They are in the country now because of this place. They just want to break down the building and build a new project and sell it out into dollars.
I live in one of the buildings. I live around Surgical Flat, and I heard that they said our flat is among, and they are going. This is the first phase, and the second phase is going to be our flat. And to be very, very honest with you, we are not going to allow the government. We are better so any government. We are better so.
However, speaking in an interview with the news team, the unit committee chairman of the community, John Cranton Buama, urged occupants of the other flats to ensure regular maintenance to avoid similar eviction in future.
The other ones that the tenants are living inside, I'll plead with all of them that they should come together. The flat, if you go say, the flat is not spoiled. The only problem we have is the top, the leakages at the top. We have to fix it, do civil works, do carpentry work, and do a little bit of painting. I believe that if you look at the structures, they are very solid enough. You understand? So if we do reconstruction, I believe that we can still live inside for so many years. But they shouldn't sit down for the flat to go down, and the government will come and tell us to vacate the flat.
In June 2017, the TDC, together with the police, stormed the Kaiser Flats to evict 400 occupants following an order issued by the Tema High Court in 2013 after the TDC had ruled that the flats failed structural integrity tests. The 4 flats have deep cracks with almost all the metal pillars rusted, a situation which would indeed have been a disaster if not checked. Alice Aite, GHOne News.
Let's have a conversation on the back of this. Ian Okwe is TDC Protocol Officer. He's joined us via telephone. Good evening, Ian. Ian, let's agree. Thank you. Let's agree that this move to rehabilitate the structure, which you say has failed integrity test, is a good thing. However, what we cannot agree on is the timing. When you look at the level of deterioration on this building, you realize that maintenance really has not been a part of the process of living in this structure. Why has the TDC had to wait this long to put the structure in proper condition?
Thank you, my sister. First of all, let me give thanks to GHOne for giving us this audience. And secondly, also my greetings to all your viewers. First, let me correct the name of TDC. TDC is not Tema Development Corporation again. It is Tema, it's TDC Development Company. It's a limited liability company now.
Thank you.
Okay, straight to your question. The occupants ceased to be legal tenants in those flats, those dilapidated flats, 2 decades ago when the issue came up. And we ceased taking rent from them. When we ceased taking rent from you, we declared the place as habitable. And so therefore we cannot come back to come and renovate them. They were supposed to vacate their premises so many years ago.
Ian, okay, so let's go back into the issue. At what point did these over 400 tenants cease to be your tenants? At what point did they become squatters in your facility?
Oh, at the time that we see taking rent from them, those
when are we looking at now?
Oh, it's more than a decade. The records are there for them. The records are there for you to. I don't have the actual date, but it's more than a decade. You know, this case has dragged on a long period. It started during ex-president Rawlings' era. It came during Kufuor's era. It went back during Atamo's era. During GM's era, there was even an attempt to vacate them, and then this present administration. So
but Ian, for many of those people who are occupying this structure, they will not agree with you that they are illegal tenants. For them, they are rightful. And if you let me land, then we can see the perspective of the conversation. They are rightful owners of the buildings they occupy. How does the TDC company now tell us that a decade ago they stopped being tenants?
No, if you are in a building and you do not pay ground rent, we do not take rent from you. Per our contract, you are not a legal tenant. And let me tell you what so many people don't know behind the scenes. These are people who reported structural deformities on the building. They said the building was inhabitable and that they could no longer live in them. And therefore, TDC had a meeting with them and we compensated them with land. The only person who did not take the land was one lady who is now still there. That lady's husband, Mrs. Ban, the husband, may so rest in perfect peace, took TDC to court that he will not take the land for compensation. And so therefore he took TDC to court and TDC won the case. The man is no more. And now that we have to evacuate them, the lady has even still gone back to court for an injunction notice. But that one was left for her to live in. And so all the other tenants have left.
Very well. Now, so what you're telling us, Ian, is the fact that, well, these homeowners were duly compensated with lands where...
Yes, we don't have any contractual agreements with them so far as TDC is aware.
However, you compensated them with alternative lands where?
So some of them were given lands at Sakumono.
You don't sound convincing. Oh, some of them were given lands at Sakumono.
No, these are things that have transpired over a period of time.
How many people did you give lands to at Sakumono?
All the tenants, except one.
How? All the tenants?
All the tenants in the 4 blocks. The 4 blocks have 8 units in them, except one that has 12 units.
I see. So we are looking at quite a number of people, and all of these people got lands in Sakumono. Where in Sakumono?
All of them were given land just behind Jubilee Clinic.
I see. Yes. Now that's something to follow up. But do tell us, at what point did you give them the lands? When? In which year?
You want to know the year by which we gave them the land?
Absolutely. That's what I asked.
No, it was not an outright time. They were duly met. The issue started with 2 blocks, and the 2 blocks were taken care of. And then the additional 2 blocks also came up, and then they were also taken care of. So there are 2 separate times.
Over a period of 2 years, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So
and
20?
That is nowhere near 2018, 2017, or 2010. This is more than a decade issue that we are talking about.
Okay, so we are looking at 2007, 2008, thereabouts.
That is before 2007.
Before 2007. You're taking us way back, but you're not telling us a lot, really.
I'll get you the exact time.
We look forward to that. So what's the plan for the TDC company once you move these people out?
The plan for the whole enclave is that the issue of the 4 blocks has come up. That AESL has declared the place as structurally inadequate. And then also, NADMO has also made us know that the place is not habitable. So we are looking at the 4 blocks, and court has given us an.
What do you plan to What do you plan to do now that you have moved the tenants?
That is what I'm explaining to you.
Okay.
The first move is to evacuate them so that nothing untoward happens. Should there be any tremor or any serious issue, we want them to evacuate that place, and that is exactly what we have done. The next step is that the 48th Engineer Regiment are on standby for us to look at how the structures are going to come down, those 4 blocks. When they come down, then we will look at the next phase.
I see. Thank you very much. We'll leave our conversation here for now.
So
Ian
we'll get you all
Okwe is
details that you are expected to get, and then you can do a running story.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Ian. You've been helpful. Ian Okwe is TDC Protocol Officer, and we've been having a conversation about the Kaiser Flats, where about 400 residents have lost their abode. We'll be right back.
Therefore, ma yawo hoyi brings you na fe yemu so mo kwan.
Say the therefore say no.
Wadaroma, manento nana say ensu asem de mo ha na okra ye ba no ye de ensu ba. Ah! Adai. Se waba efie. Ah, wa say yen yama mu ensu nom no. Wo so de ensu ba. Eni say. Nana eti amra.
Therefore, yesre wo. Ensu we ke. Eye ahemfo nsu a ye de afa mfidie mu. Asone so. Ayene Kroji, a Free Kingdom Beverages Limited, King's Drinking Water.
Bye, man. Insured de.
King's Drinking Water.
And you're not King's Drinking Water.
Because of my taste, I'm trusted amongst them all. Others say I taste good amongst them all. Some say I bring out the best amongst every individual and unite people. They've crowned me queen amongst them all. Sophia rice, starchless, highly polished, and comes out one after cooking. Choose the queen amongst them all. Sophia rice, Papanu Jinemusa.
Sometimes it's gonna hurt. Sometimes you don't feel good as you know she'll feel. But this is what you want, and if you want it, you gotta go hard for it. You don't have to stop. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. I don't find time to run. I make time to run. You are powerful. Feel like a champion. You better run with more life until you hit that finish line. When nothing goes right, go run. It's supposed to be hard. The hard is what makes it great. Run energy drink. Run to greatness.
The quest for quick money lands many young men in trouble, with spirits haunting them.
Since the day I brought that pot home, I don't feel free. People are hunting you. First will be a human being, second will be in a different person. After the lion, you see fire burning. I can sit down like this, see the things to roll in my face.
Others get duped along the way by people parading as spiritualists with the powers to double money and help them get rich.
He told me to give him 1,500, but he will help me to get triple or quadruple it. Actually, I'm okay with that.
The real psychics and spiritualists, however, believe greedy people are those that get duped because no one can be rich overnight.
Our people are greedy. If you are not greedy, no one is going to get you. If I can make you rich, why won't I make myself rich?
Join me, Alice Aite, on Tuesday, 6th February 2018, as I bring you the full report on the work of spiritualists and psychics and young people's quest for quick money as the Traditional Medicine Practice Council bans money doubling. GHOne News. News you can trust.
You're welcome back to the news here on GHOne Television. Insight is up next. Now, following Wednesday evening's fire that ravaged parts of the Dom Central Market in Accra, the Municipal Chief Executive for Ga East, Janet Mensah, says she suspects foul play from some traders who were unhappy with the decision to prevent them from selling on the pavement. And now the fire is the fourth at the Dom Central Market, and the MCE has lodged a formal complaint with the police to investigate.
About 23 to 25 market stalls and shops, as well as goods worth thousands of Ghana cedis, were consumed by the inferno that is said to have started a few minutes past 7 p.m. on Wednesday. According to the Ghana Fire Service, there were no casualties recorded. Though trading was ongoing at the market Thursday morning, the usual hustle and bustle was lost. Some affected traders who were in tears were trying to gather the remains of their destroyed properties. They said they suspect foul play, and according to this eyewitness, she was there when the fire started.
Sisters be on appear water. Me say sister dey no aye to pa kono shamas. Eti ya pa krofon of fan sentina boy be na me bra. Mo chose ni mai. Na ja no ansate wa. Woman be otontoma. Ona omo de ade ni egu ye.
Me to jewels. Me fa nyama wa City Gold. Me fa wa nyama wa The Boy. Me fa nyama wa The Dosh. Me fa nyama wa Rolling It. Me fa nyama wa shots be break kese I want crime. Inti nyama e wo mu no more than 500 million. I want me shop no ba ko kura man tan frame ba ko kura man tan frame me a Muslim ni nti bibi to me a me see inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un asa me ni bibia bio se nipa na ya me ni hwi se nyankopon so a me ono na odi ma me so oji frame sam so me ni hwi ka.
According to DCFO Ebenezer Simpson, though he has heard such allegations from the traders, investigations have started to unravel the cause of the fire, and an official report will be shared soon.
Investigation is ongoing, but you know, some fell on deaf ears. So once a while, these things are bound to come. Had it not been the swift intervention of yesterday, the information that we had, and we were able to mobilize our men, it could have spread, because we are having over 250 to 300 metal containers in the market. We haven't finished. That is why we are still investigating. That is why I cannot be bold enough to tell you this is the cause until we have finished.
The acting director of NADMO, Eric Ajiman Prempe, paid a visit to the scene this morning to establish the extent of damage and to speak with the traders. He consoled traders and assured them government was going to compensate those affected by providing stores for them to trade in.
We've met with the people who were affected. We've given them assurances. The assembly is working to make sure the decongestion aspect of it is done within the market so that there can be accessibility whenever there are such things. And then we are looking at preventive measures also to make sure that it doesn't happen this way.
But this promise has been made before. 3 years ago, when fire gutted the market, and affected traders are still waiting for those promised stores.
Well, that's a very sad development, but we have the MCE who is over the phones in the person of Madam Janet Mensah to give us some insights into why she suspects that this may be some sort of a foul play by some individuals who do not want to move their trade away from pavements. Madam, if you can hear me, good evening and thank you for joining us.
Good evening. Thank you.
Well, now, you allege that this market, this fire that appears to have ravaged the Dom market somehow was caused by individuals who didn't want to move their trade away from the pavement following the decongestion, if you like, or the eviction exercise. Why do you say this?
You know, this is not the first time the market has been involved with fire. It is the third or the fourth time. And in all cases, there are instances that we could suspect that there were hands, invisible hands that were in. Yesterday, we went to the market to launch a program, Gamma household toilet. And we chose the Domi market because it is more of a central place where we can get a lot of people to talk to. And secondly, we did pavement there. I don't know if you know the place, but when it rains, the place becomes muddy. So we wanted a modernized market for the place. So we rolled the first phase of the pavement. After the program, we advised the women there. Most of them have their own stalls in the market, but they chosen to be outside. So we advised them to go back to their shops. Then everything went on okay. Then I had another engagement, another meeting somewhere. And around 6 o'clock, thereabout, I had a call from a sister station asking me to grant an interview because some of the women have been there to say that we sacked them from the pavement. So I told him that I was engaged, and so I would grant the interview today, God willing. And then the women came back, but when I was leaving the place, I left my gas. So it was them who, when the women went back, they converged at a place, and then they started talking that, and they, I don't know, they spoke in the Chi language, and they made it. It was within 30 minutes that I had a call that the place is on fire.
And so this is why you suspect, or you're of the view that some of these offended traders who you evicted from the pavement may have started the fire, for which you have formally lodged a complaint to the police. The question, though, I mean, if somebody who has been following developments around this particular market can suggest, for instance, that you know there have been a series of engagements like that. There's been a series of fire outbreaks. And in all cases, certain reports have been filed. Compensation has been promised market women and traders. In some cases, these traders have not received these compensations. From your perspective as the MCE, what will happen now after you have filed the complaint to the police?
This morning, the regional minister and the deputy minister were all there. We formed a committee comprising of the technical people, the NADMO, police, fire service, with a team from the assembly. They will assess with taking their names, their shops. They are now assessing what has been lost to the stage, they will come out with something. But for now, we are controlling them, and then practically we would have to know what is gone so that we can do something about it. The ministers spoke at length with them. We would want to know their way and how much has been lost. So we can't just mention anything.
Well, thank you very much for speaking to us, Madam Mensah. She's the Chief Executive Officer for the Ga East Assembly, and she has been giving us some reactions to the developments around the fire that appears to have gutted the Dom market, where some properties have been lost. And the allegation now is that some people may have started this. But we'll wait for further feedback and we'll follow this and bring you updates accordingly. But that brings us to the end of Insight.
Welcome back. You're still watching News Tonight. Time now for business with Kweku Timing. Kweku.
Very good evening, Kemini Amano and Patrick. Welcome back. Well, tonight we have a lot of updates for you. I start with the northern part of the country as the government is trying to put in place measures to solve unemployment. But when we come back also, we'll give you a feel of Ghana, how Ghana is trying to build its trade relations with other French-speaking countries. We have this and other interesting details coming up shortly.
Business Brief is brought to you by Dusk Capital. We see a millionaire in you. We're looking for you, the next millionaire. We know of your stressful routine. From those 12-hour flights across the Atlantic to your hustle through traffic every day. From burning the midnight oil to that laptop that never sleeps. We know where you are in life, and we know where you want to go. Let us take you there. Thinking investment? Think Dusk Capital. Dusk Capital. We see a millionaire in you.
Henry, what is wrong with you and your laptop? It is not working.
Hey. What at all is going on in this house?
Your son's laptop is not working and my phone.
Me kai me mo fabrim na me mama de me ko Freddy's corner enti ene eye manager se me di Freddy's corner ho adanse a kire mabusia na ade ba ko a me kai wo Freddy's corner eye se de wo siti wanim ejeji wo customers. Se eba mobile phone, eba laptop papa, camera papa ni PlayStation a Freddy's corner aha ene wo. Se ko ba to mobile phone say, wo camera say, wo laptop say and a PlayStation. Me ha ho kra. Freddy's corner be try you go am. Freddy's corner, your home of authentic mobile phones and accessories.
Many thanks for choosing the business brief. Well, to ensure that unemployment amongst residents of Laura District community along the Black Volta is reduced, the District Assembly is partnering with an energy company, Ricky Energy, to cultivate 30,000 acres of sesame to feed an oil factory to be sited in Buipe. Well, the District Chief Executive for the area, Martin Bomberi, is upbeat about the prospects.
Before end of the year, operations must start. We're talking about 30,000 hectares, which makes 60,000 acres of land. Aside that also, we are going to use parts to prepare some animal food, such like pellets for cows, and also as well some chicken feeders.
All right, so we take other stories, and here some economic analysts are backing government's decision to hedge its oil imports as crude oil prices continue to surge on the international market. Well, the Ministry of Finance earlier this week hinted of its decision to hedge its oil imports under new risk management strategy to keep fiscal consolidation on track as global crude prices recover. Brent crude futures hit $71 a barrel last week before easing to $69.88 on Monday. But prices were still on track for the strongest start for the year in 5 years. Ghana has for a long time been a net crude importer, except for last year when oil exports exceeded imports by around $990 million. While future price recovery was partially good news for Ghana's oil exports, government fears it could also derail price stability and spike fuel-related expenditures. GHOne Business questioned finance analyst Kingsley Marty of Databank Research if hedging Ghana's oil imports could be a better option.
Hedging as an insurance policy is a prudent move, especially if you are a net importer of crude oil. Because by hedging your position, what you are doing is to secure the flow of funds and stabilize and expect expenditure within a certain range. But you must be sure that in doing this, crude oil price is rising, and very importantly, you must be sure that it is going to continue to rise over a certain forecast horizon and beyond a certain range, so that once you strike a certain hedged price, you've secured your position.
Ghana operates a deregulated consumer fuel pricing mechanism after the government scrapped subsidies in 2015 under a deal with the International Monetary Fund.
If you look at the way prices are behaving on the market right now, it appears OPEC and the non-OPEC producers that have decided to cut output to support price, they appear comfortable around the $70 mark because they are fully aware that beyond $70 significantly, it will create incentive for producers like the US to come on stream, and that would cause price to tumble again, and they do not want to create that incentive for high cost producers in the US. And so I'm asking myself, do we have enough upside potential for price of crude oil that would warrant hedging at this time?
So are we to hedge or not to hedge, especially around this time? We'll come back and break it down a little bit. But just before I go, President Akufo-Addo has assured a group of ambassadors to Ghana from French-speaking countries that his administration will take concrete steps to ensure that the country's relations with them is accentuated for mutual benefit. Well, the president said he is looking forward to when Ghana can adopt a dual language system because of its location amongst French-speaking countries.
Addressing the meeting, lead ambassador of the group of Francophone ambassadors and also Cote d'Ivoire's ambassador to Ghana said their group is excited about the opportunity to meet with the president, as it is the first time a sitting Ghanaian president is meeting with them. He presented a 4-point agenda with which the group is looking to execute with Ghana. President Akufo-Addo, in a response, indicated that the presidency, together with the Foreign Affairs Ministry, will communicate in writing a positive response to the 4-point agenda aimed at strengthening bilateral ties.
All right, so that's all we have for you in business tonight. Thanks to Dusk Capital. Maybe when we come back, Patrick Stevenson will try to probe into whether this could be a good time or not to hedge. We'll be back shortly with some more. Do stay.
Business Brief was brought to you by Dusk Capital. We see a millionaire in you.
Well, that was business with Kweku Temeng. In other news, Ghanaians can now have direct access to the IGP thanks to a new police website officially launched earlier today. The IGP, David Asante-Apietu, sent a strong warning to persons hiding behind the new media to commit crimes such as identity theft, fake gold deals, and estate fraud to stop or face the full force of the service. He also used the launch to appreciate the media and the public for for helping the police during its manhunt for the January 21 Kwabinya jailbreak suspects.
Cybercrime has become a real threat, with many young men and women hiding behind social media to dupe unsuspecting people. IGP David Asantia Pietu warned persons who hide behind the anonymity of social media to defraud, engage in identity theft and other cybercrimes to stop or face the men in black.
In our quest to be a world-class police organization, it is important to gain the trust and confidence of the public through constant engagement, which is considered as an essential element of policing. Such engagements have been carried out in the past through the support of our partners from the traditional media, who have carried and continue to carry our messages to the generality of our people with dedication and loyalty.
According to the IGP, his outfit will use the new website and social media handles to bridge the communication gap between the police service and the public. The police also hopes to use the website to gather information and educate the general public on their operations and possible threats in the various communities in the country.
Despite the negatives, as exemplified in internet-related frauds, there is a huge potential for us not only to make ourselves visible and accessible on the virtual space, but also to leverage public support, share information, gather intelligence, and have a constructive online engagement with Ghanaians, both home and abroad.
Inspector Baku Muhammad, staff of the Transformation Program Office, a lead security agent organization at the police service, said the website is built in a way to prevent manipulation by unscrupulous persons.
Talking about verification is that they are officially verified, so that people who might want to create a new account in the name of Ghana Police Service on Facebook or a new account in the name of Ghana Police Service on Twitter might actually, members of the public might actually know the difference and know that once it is verified for Ghana Police Service, so you can use that one, and we've used a laid-down procedure to get all these accounts verified.
He stated that some of the features on the websites are application portals, an IGP portal to allow the public to directly interact with the IGP, a DPS page, news and event page, among others. The new website and social media handles are www.police.gov.gh and GH Police Service on Facebook and Twitter.
We leave the police service now and go into Parliament. Now, the committee investigating the cash for seat saga once again failed to present its report to Parliament on Thursday. Now, the committee has been rocked by confusion and division. A former Deputy Attorney General, a member of the committee, Dr. Dominic Aini, insists on writing a minority report to counter that of the committee as a whole. Ibrahim Al-Hassan has more on the following report.
GHOne News has gathered the committee's report clears the Trade and Industry Ministry of the extortion claims by the minority. The report, however, faults the ministry for using a public account to receive private funds. The committee consequently recommends review of the public financial regulation, which it believes is outmoded, to make room for public-private partnership funds. The minority's disagreement resulted in another postponement in order to make way for a final meeting with the Deputy Attorney General. Earlier on the floor, one of the witnesses for the minority, Muntaka Mubarak, had requested for more time to study a document containing his testimony presented to him by the committee before the report could be laid. Speaking to GHOne News after proceedings, Majority Leader and Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, Osei Mensa Bonsu, accused the former Deputy AG of frustrating the work of the committee.
One of them was absent, the Honorable Dr. Dominic Aini. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, he couldn't go. They called him, he said he will come there at 5 o'clock, he didn't go, and said to them that, okay, eventually they should give him 2 hours more, which was to lead them to 7 p.m. 7 p.m. they called him, his phones were off for whatever reason. It was not until 12 midnight that he sent word to them to respond to their earlier calls. I mean, clearly, even the uninitiated will know that there's something at play.
GHOne News has gathered, according to the Standing Order 210 of Parliament, the former Deputy AG is not allowed to write any counter report. He is, however, to make the views of the minority members of the committee known, so chairman of the committee could capture that in his presentation of the report on the floor.
Now, in entertainment for today, Musica President Obo has finally spoken out about his alleged attacks on Ebony's dressing on stage. Now, he says he was taken out of context with his comments. We have that in his own.
President of the Musicians Union of Ghana, Bais Osei-Kufuor, popularly known as Obo, has cleared the air on comments he allegedly made about the fashion sense of dancehall sensation Ebony. Obo was taken on by social media and some entertainment critics in November last year for chastising Ebony for wearing very revealing clothes. Speaking to Bolore on Star FM Star Chat, the Kunkun Timba hitmaker said his comments was misconstrued by some mischievous media people. He further explained that he had only cautioned the Mamisha singer to be mindful of the kind of environment she was operating in and the accepted cultural values. The one-time road safety campaigner also reacted to fellow artist Kwalkese's accusation that Musica is poorly managed under his leadership. Obo responded by saying Kwalkese is not a good member in standing and does not deserve any professional treatment at all. Additionally, he said Kwal does not pay his dues, therefore has no right whatsoever to make such claims.
There's a new revolution against persisting spots and scars. GHOne presents the new BSC Black Spots Corrector. With its 3-in-1 formula, it eliminates all spots and marks that are on hands, feet and elbows. The B-carotene nourishes the skin. The DSP-10 protects from the sun. And the collagen regenerates the cells. For efficient results. Your skin has never been so wonderful.
Shirley, Frida, Na, Adjoa, and Rachel coming over? What to do? No worries. Serve your girls with a 1.5-liter Coca-Cola Value Pack for 8 Ghana cedis only. Recommended retail price. Now available in 0 sugar.
You're watching GH1 television. This is News Tonight. We'll bring you international brief now. Now, Kenya's High Court has suspended the government shutdown of 3 of the country's largest private TV channels. KTN, NTV and Citizen TV were taken off air over plans to broadcast opposition leader Raila Odinga's unofficial inauguration on Tuesday. Raila Odinga lost last year's election and his swearing in was widely seen as a publicity stunt. But the country's authorities say it was an act of treason. The court has suspended the ban for 14 days while the case is being heard, and it ordered the state not to interfere with the operations of KTN, NTV and Citizen TV pending a full hearing. The affected stations are currently off air as there are no sign of the government complying with this ruling.
Now, residents of Johannesburg and surrounding areas have been warned against sending bottles of water to drought-stricken Cape Town. Now, South Africa's department told the Gauteng province they could risk replicating the situation in their region too by doing so. It is the latest precaution being taken to address the chronic shortage of water in the region. Our local authorities in Cape Town have enforced a water consumption limit of 50 litres per person per day in an effort to delay what has become known as Day Zero, which has been set for 12 April when the water supply in the country, in the city, will be shut.
That'll be all for tonight.
Well, that's all we have for you, right? My name is Patrick Stevenson.
Yeah, it's good to have you back.
After touring the country, right?
Yes.
It was a good experience.
Great, great. I'll take the same trip too. My name is Kemini. I'm on 8:30 to State of Affairs with NDC's national organizer, Kofi Adams. Bye-bye.
Love is proudly brought to you by GHOne.